Que lo que Knicks fans, it's your boy Triple M. Another episode of the Knicks Wildin' Podcast. I'm here with all the guys, man, and we here with a special guest, off the ball's very own Pete from Nets fans. We just completed a trade with the Brooklyn Nets, first time in 60 years. I said, who do we get here? Who better than Pete from Nets fans? Man, if you haven't checked it out, even if you're a Knicks fans, you just got to see everything that he's been talking about because they are going through it in Brooklyn. Pete, let the people was good, man. Tell the people was really good with you, bro.
I was gonna say, man, I don't just do only Nets. By the way, I have insiders on. I talk to beat writers. I've interviewed players before. I just started doing this kind of YouTube thing a couple months ago, but it's picking up. Looks really good. So if you enjoy basketball, come through. Thanks for
Nah,
the.
yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of highlights, graph. You just gotta check it out, man. I went through I'm not a Brooklyn fan, but I was going through his content the last week or two, and it was like I really enjoyed that Mikal Bridges when you thought you was gonna get him for the third pick. Yeah, I was really into that one. That was a good one. That was a good one. But we
Yeah,
here
that
with
was
the guys is Don Juan and Zebo. Don Juan, how you feeling, man? After that,
I'm feeling good. We don't usually have net fans here, but if we were gonna bring one, of course, it's great to have Pete here. Welcome to the show. And we had a bit of a hiatus as we were enjoying, this little break from the season, let everything unfold, whether it was the draft, whether it was trades. But now we're getting a clearer picture of what the season, or at least what the roster is gonna look like for next season. And I'm excited, man. Still some moves to be made. It's only the beginning of July. Technically the free agency is not hasn't started. Well, negotiations have started, but until you put the pen on the paper, nothing's official, which is on the 6th. So let's see how everything unfolds. We don't want no situation like DeAndre Drummond getting locked in his crib, getting kidnapped and forced to sign back with the Clippers. That could always happen. But excited to be back though with the guys. What's up, fellas?
yes, sir. Zebo, how you doing?
Good, bro, man. I'm feeling like I don't know, man. Like FanDuel right now got us as the second best odds to win the chip. So, like my background right now, I'm in heaven.
You're
Like
looking
you
godly
can't
right
tell
now,
me.
B. You're
You
looking
looking?
I
godly.
look like I'm in heaven right now. I
Yes.
look like the Knicks odds right now.
Oh man. So why you asking? Why is Zebo in heaven? It's because the Knicks, they think they added the last piece to the Infinity Stone. They believe it. They believe it, and they went all in. In an absolute haul, the New York Knicks traded for Mikal Bridges. The breakdown of the trade, tentatively, as Don Juan mentioned, the trade has not been official yet. These are the pieces that might be moving around. Mikal Bridges comes to New York. The wannabe New York Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, they get Bojan Bogdanovic.
the
They
king.
get Bojan
King.
Bogdanovic. Oh my!
He's going
And
back home. He's going back home.
this is where it gets good for them. I can't even lie. Unprotected picks in 25, unprotected pick in 27, unprotected pick in 29, and another unprotected pick in 31. And hold up, you thought we would finish? Nah, they getting some more. They get an unprotected pick swap in 2028. They're getting the 2025 Bucks pick that the Knicks had protected 1 through 4. That should be good in a loaded 2025 draft. And they're getting another second rounder, an absolute haul for the Brooklyn Nets. I can't even lie. Is it an overpay? I would admit this is an extreme overpay, but the Knicks went all in. This is their all in piece. So, Pete, as a Brooklyn Nets fan, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about this trade? I see a lot of people saying Brooklyn fleeced the Knicks. Are you feeling that way?
Uh, it's funny. I'm very 50-50 on it, and I'll tell you why. I have a whole rant that I could go through from the Knicks side, saying that I think Mikel's going to be better next year for you guys, just for so many reasons. But just focusing on the Nets side, okay? We needed a rebuild. We got all these picks, right? That's great that we got these picks back. And I guess Utah was kind of offering a package for him as well. And man, like these picks are going to be in the 20s. How old is Brunson? He's not going to be gone in 3 years. So, especially 25, you'll see a lot of Net fans getting very excited. Our pick, we got our own pick back from Houston. That's going to be in the lotto, probably top 3. Then we got Milwaukee. we got you guys, and then we got one more. I forgot who the last one was, but I remember. OKC. All of them are going to be in the 20s. They're going to be 25, 26,
No,
27. What's the
Milwaukee. You have
point?
Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee 1 through 4 protected. They're not going to go down. The best chance
Mm.
of a team failing would be Brunson being out for the year and all hell breaking loose.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Like,
whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm not saying it's going to happen or I want it to happen. Relax. But I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
for the deal, yes, it was a great deal for the Nets. But you know what? If the Knicks win a championship, that's all you need is just one ring. And no matter what, good, right?
Yeah, that, like you said, that's all we need. And these next 3 years are going to be very important for us, I think. That's why I admit that isn't overpaid. But if we get one ring, we haven't won a championship since 1972, okay? My father
Mhm.
wasn't even born. My father wasn't even born yet. You feel me? So it's like this was a long, long time ago. I need to see a championship before I go. That's all I need to see a
No.
championship
I got to
before I
tell you.
hang it up.
You got to see a championship. We have an ABA championship. We don't even have an NBA championship. What are you complaining about?
But
Shit.
at least you went to the NBA Finals, man. At least you got
Yeah,
that.
yeah, at least I
Yeah, we
went
got
to the
swept by the
finals.
Lakers. That was great. It was
At,
beautiful.
least you got that. At least you got that. But I know Don Juan. I had a question for you,
What's up?
Pete. How, Don Juan?
Yeah, well, I know. Well, put it this way: it's always a bit bittersweet in terms of how things played out. You guys got picks. You said you're 50-50. I agree. I think it's a win-win for both sides. We both get what we want. And it's funny because I was already throwing that trade out. I was out in May already saying, just if you guys want to, you know, pretty much rebuild, the best situation is trade this guy who could get you some assets. And the Knicks had a boatload of picks. There was already rumors of the Rockets and whatnot. But just to get back to the questions, I was actually
You
uh,
good?
going far away with what I was bringing up. But what do you think about Mikal Bridges in terms of like his time with the Nets? Like, do you feel like is like, damn, this guy just bolted us because of the Nets suck, even though obviously there wasn't the best situation in terms of the roster construction. But can this create some type of rivalry with the Knicks in terms, like, when he goes to Brooklyn, are they gonna boo him, or is this just like at the end of the day he wants to play with his boys? It is what it is. We got what we want in return.
A rivalry? Don't piss on my head and call it rain. Of course, there's going to be a rivalry. There was a rivalry before. There'll be one after, no matter who's on the team. But to get back to what you're saying, okay? You look at Bridges. He came after the KD trade. I talked with people who work for the Nets. He hated it. He did not want to come to Brooklyn. You
Mm.
know, he was in Phoenix his whole career. They just went to the finals. He has all his friends there, right? He doesn't want to go to the cold. He comes and he winds up getting the crown. They make him the number one, and he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. And then on top of everything else, he goes to Team USA. He has that training camp. The guy, by the way, we forgot to mention, he has not missed a game in how many years? Junior high school, maybe. Like, all jokes aside. So you have that. He goes to USA training camp, plays in the USA tournament, the FIBA tournament, comes back. It's a lot. It's a lot on someone's body. Nets got swept 4 games by Philadelphia his first year, and he was tired. He was already looking tired. Like I said, FIBA did not help him. He comes into last season, and man, this man was not ready. He wasn't good on defense. I don't know if you guys can find this. There's a famous clip, I think, of Trey Young smiling when he's matched up with him one on one, and he just blows by him. I think it was Trey Young. Uh, this guy has to get healthy, but finally, getting the ball out of his hands for you guys will be the key. Having Brunson and a point guard that could actually get Bridges the ball will be huge. He's an elite off the ball star. Catch and shoot threes. He'll play the defense when he doesn't have to use all of his energy on offense. So, man, it's a perfect fit for you guys. Hope I answered the question all right. I went on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah, no, that is a great response. The only thing I would say in terms of him coming back from FIBA is Do you feel like maybe? I mean, obviously, you're saying that he was tired. Do you also, but do you think it might have been more like disinterested, like he didn't want to even play there anymore? And I know even to maybe make things a bit even more sour in terms of how he was feeling when they tried to bench him that one game. I don't recall exactly how it played out, but they either tried to make him sit and he was not for it. He played the game. It was something along the lines like that. Like he's definitely was out of sync with whatever was going on with the Nets.
Yeah, so you get a lot to unpack over there. So I'll go with the first part. He comes over. He's not exactly that happy to be in Brooklyn. He'd rather be in Phoenix. But he played 27 games with the Nets in the regular season.
And he killed.
26. He puts up 26 points. He shoots 47% from the field, 37% from three, and he was looking very involved. And he looked like him. He looked like the guy. But if you look at his stats in that season, and I think you take the last 10 games, he shoots like 20%, 25%. The shots are falling short. Anyone who watches basketball knows that this dude looks like he's tired. And he even said in the middle of last season, I wasn't ready to be the number one playing defense, playing, number one on offense. Man, it's tough when you see a guy like that because he is trying, but he's actually hurting the team by not sitting out. And the situation you're talking about with Milwaukee was Nets were tired. I think they had like a back-to-back. They're home against Milwaukee. He has this streak. They don't want him to lose the streak. He doesn't want to lose the streak and stuff. A couple guys got benched. And I forgot how much they played, but out. They get a little bit of rest, and we wound up losing. And that was supposedly the downturn of the season. That's all the drama with that. Bridges took it very personally, even though you would think, man, I would talk to my coaches. The coaches should say, listen, these are the minutes that you're going to do today. So something's up with that. I don't know what it is, but who knows, right? We'll never know.
Yeah, we will never know. But before I kick it to Zebo for his question, let's go through a tweet. All right, we're gonna go through a series of tweets here and see how my man Pete feels from it. These tweets are from Nets fans. You know,
I
they're
love talking
salty.
shit.
They're real salty, so you might know some of these guys. Let's go to the first tweet. Let's go from our man Real Cody Malar. He says Nets lose James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant in pretty shitty ways. But Mikal Bridges should be the most hated out of the four, and it ain't even close. Wow, my boy feeling very salty about this trade. Pete, do you agree with my boy?
Oh man,
Cody, my boy Cody.
there's a lot of I'm so happy that you picked that tweet because I forgot to answer that before. Listen, Bridges was flirting with with his little boy toy heart, with his little boy toy. What's his name? Brunson. They were hanging out at games, and I will say I think Net fans were very irrational. I went to the game that the Knicks wound up coming back at the Garden at the Barclays Center where
It is the
the Knicks
Garden.
fans
It is the
took
Garden.
over.
We did take over.
Shut
Don't
the
make
fuck
me
up.
play the clip. Don't let me play the clip. It was.
Oh, I got some clips. Don't worry, I'm ready for you. So yeah, I was saying with Bridges, man, he had a pout on his face after that game, and I personally think that's when the switch turned off. Because then you saw what was that Chipotle commercial after being on the podcast, after sitting with Brunson at games. I personally think that this was being orchestrated for months, and a lot of Net fans take it very personally. I think the dude wants to play with his friends. Would you want to play with your college buddies? I'd want to play with my college buddies. We won a championship together at Villanova. Why wouldn't you want to play with your boys? So some people are a little irrational, but yeah, fuck Mikal Bridges. But yeah, I don't know about as much as Harden and Kyrie.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So not as much, but it's still F. Mikal Bridges. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Zebo, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Next, my boy Pete.
Yeah, bro. I just had because I think I think you did put it. I mean, you did put it perfectly, bro. I think you said the big positive is that if you do have him off the ball, Essentially, like as a second, third option, I think he's definitely going to thrive. I do have a question, just real quick, about your about the personnel with the Nets, because I know you had. Obviously, we're not, we don't watch every single
Yeah.
Nets game, but but we're basketball fans, so we saw dudes like Cam Thomas where they were scoring like 40 in a row. Do you think, and you had guys like Dennis Smith Jr., you had guys like Dennis Schroeder. Do you think he was deflecting off those guys? Like, do you think he wasn't as aggressive that year because he was trying to, let those guys thrive, or like, because it did. I know you did say that he did have a little bit of fatigue, but do you also just think that maybe he just tried to, he tried to let those guys eat a little more, is especially because a lot of those guys we did have on the team, they needed the ball in their hands to kind of, to do their thing?
Absolutely not. I think he was getting his breath if there was anything like that going on. Cam Thomas is a one-on-one player. He's always going to want the ball in his hands and whatnot. I think one thing that you kind of missed on is what people forget about the point guard position. We had Spencer Dinwiddie come back in with the Kyrie Irving trade. That little half season when Mikal had 26 points or 27 points, man, Dinwiddie and him, perfect. They were playing great. He was getting the ball in great spots. Next season comes around, and I'll give you guys a little inside info. Spencer Dinwiddie was supposed to be traded early in the year, like really early, and Marks didn't do it because Ben got hurt. You had to have a point guard. We didn't want to tank. We didn't have our pick, right? So that was an issue there. They keep Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie's not happy, and Dinwiddie's my favorite player, right? So it hurts me to say it, but he wasn't playing his best, and you're not going to get the ball in those situations where the guy's not fucking with the team. He wants to go to wherever he's going to go.
Right.
Then after that, you get Schroeder, and Schroeder helped him a lot. I think if you look at Bridges' numbers, it went up. I would say one last thing about this. Look this up. Don't believe me. Check this out yourself. Check out Mikal Bridges' pull-up jumpers, okay? He cannot make his own shot, and that is the issue, and that is what's stopping him from being a superstar. That's it.
All right. Yeah, that's a good stat. That's actually a question I've heard plenty of times. About him not being able to hit that mid range, being a terrible finisher at the rim is something that really I know I think I know about five Nets fans, so I kind of know like 50% of the fan base, and it's like they complained about that a lot throughout the year about just Mikal not being able to finish at the rim. So that's a great stat that you said to look up. I'm definitely going to look into that mid range and finishing at the rim. But this is a perfect next tweet that we should go to here. Right on topic. It's crazy how we stood on topic here. This is from Free Wave 3. My man got the Bogdanovich icon. Look at that. Wow. Number 44. He says, like, I don't care what Knicks fans say about his role will be scaled down or he was unhappy. I watched every single game Mikal Bridges played as a Net. Think I'm a qualified to speak on him as a player. He isn't the same guy as the 2022 all defensive, and even that was Mickey. I guess he means Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
So that was fake. And he says, LOL, 5 picks. So not everybody feels like you, Pete. I mean, let's see from the fan base. Do you think Bridges could have lost a step?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. To kind of give you a little context, I'm usually the one in the fan base, or not. I don't say the one, but one of the people that's more level-headed. Some people you might see going crazy on Bridges or defending him too much. I think I had it right in the middle. I had episodes talking about him, about how good he is, how bad he is, and I think I'm trying to be really, really like honest here. I think he's one bad step away from major injury. He needs to sit down at some point this year. For your sake, I hope he doesn't pick up a basketball because it's kind of scary that you'll see it yourself. When he gets tired, there's a big difference in his game, and it sucks to see it. And I'm not trying to knock the guy for the conditioning. It was his first time in that role. Man, I just think him getting the ball out of his hands are going to help you guys so much. You have no idea. I don't think the defense was fake, but I definitely think he might have lost a step because of how fatigued he was.
Yeah, I hope it's not because I have very happy dreams of thinking of OG Ananobi and Mikal Bridges in that perimeter, man, playing that defense.
on,
It's gonna be scary.
on the injured reserve.
Yo, man, P is
Oh
no joke. P is no
man,
joke. Let's take a
quick
look
with
at
it,
one
quick
more
with it.
tweet, and let's take a look at one more tweet
Oh,
here, and then we keep it pushing with the show. Here we go from Nets Frequent, man. This guy is a complete troll on Twitter, but it is what it is. The Nets are set up to start collecting lottery picks from 2027 to 2031 from until 2031. The Nets with an all-time heist. They sold the Knicks on putting together a college team. Big word from Nets Frequent right there, Pete. Man, how, are you feeling Nets Frequent right there? Or are you like the more level-headed guy and
yeah,
out of the bunch?
yeah. It's still fuck the Knicks, but I am a little more level-headed. Um, Listen, I don't know if they even get like 2 lottery picks out of that. I will say this: 30 is a long time away. 29 or whatever is a long time away. You never know what happens. You see what happened with Katie twice. Katie in Brooklyn. I thought I was getting a ring every year for like 2, 3 years. I'm like, let's go. And then shit happens. He goes to Phoenix. He's got his buddies over there. They get swept. You really never know what's gonna happen, obviously, in this league. But I feel a lot more comfortable with the Knicks situation than I do with the Phoenix situation and KD. Obviously, he's over happy, and we're sad fans. We have lots of trauma, so holding on to those draft picks, that's our lifeblood. So let him live. All right, be
Yeah,
nice.
all you have is draft picks, Cam Thomas, and Clowney. That's all you guys are holding on to it. But you mentioned KD and Kyrie, man, and James Harden.
I
How
did.
disappointing was that? Yeah, yeah, you just mentioned them right now. How you thought you was
Oh,
getting the ring. How disappointing was that? That three. I saw an interesting question early on Twitter. It was which one is more disappointing, Kawhi or Paul George, or the big three in Brooklyn? What is your overall thoughts on that?
oh, it was fucking amazing. I loved it, man. I loved it. It was the best day of my life. Like how would you feel, bro? It's fucking horrible. What type of question is that? It fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. You know what I mean? Like okay, my birthday's on June 29th, right? That's the day Katie signed. And like I said a couple of seconds ago, I was looking at my hand, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna see my team win a championship. The fucking Brooklyn Nets are going to win a championship. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that we have Katie and Kyrie, and at least we have to win a division. We at least have to make the finals, and and then it doesn't happen. And this is what I say on my podcast. This life that I'm in right now, that you're in right now, this is the darkest timeline. There's another universe where they won a championship or even go in a dynasty. But in this world, shit happened, and I don't even know. We need a 30 for 30 though. That's what I know.
Yeah, facts. What this is probably just a yes or no. Would you do it again? Is the question now. So like, if you're in a situation to get some type of superstar like the KD and Kyrie once again, would you, I wouldn't say sell your soul, but would you give it all up for these type of guys one more time?
Would I sell my soul? No. But would I do that thing all over again? I would do it 100 out of 100 times, especially the James Harden deal. What would you? You wouldn't do it 100 out of 100?
I would. I
Yeah.
would.
I
I
think
mean, I
anybody.
was I
Kyrie and
was already.
Harden.
I mean, just we pretty much
Had to.
both had the ability to get Kyrie and KD. So trust me, the whole time I was saying if it takes to get Kyrie to get KD, I mean, I'm for it. Obviously, Kyrie at the time was seen as a bit of a toxic guy. You don't want that guy on your team. But if it's gonna bring KD along, why not? You know
Why
what I
not?
mean?
Yeah.
The stories
Okay.
I could tell you, the stories and things that I've heard, like on the record, off the record, like the 30 for 30 when this comes out is going to be like a movie. It's really going to be like a movie. I'll tell
Yo,
you something.
real.
I'll tell you something a lot of people don't talk about. Okay, this is after the Milwaukee series. We're going to go to Greece. Katie's talking with James Harden. They both agree to re-sign with the Nets with each other. Okay, Katie does ink to paper, and then Harden doesn't. Harden doesn't. They have training camp in San Diego for Josiah. You know, he's from San Diego, so they're having it over there. And all of a sudden, the offensive coordinator Mike D'Antoni leaves the team, and he goes to the Pelicans at a consultant job, so like a lesser role. And it took me. I always thought, oh, James Harden told the guy that he wanted to leave, and I found out years later why that happened, because Steve Nash was so bad that D'Antoni was tired. He's like, I don't want to run a team and not be the head coach. If I'm gonna, run the offense, I might as well be the head coach. A lot of people don't talk about that. And that was the start of the end.
A little breaking news here for not breaking news, but a little inside news here from my boy Pete. On Steve Nash was terrible, man. I don't know how. That's why KD demanded for that man to go. He was like, "Yo, either get him out of here or you trade me." So, and then he even got fed up with Sean Marks. But Pete, I want to ask you, man. Look, one of my close friends said he thinks that Sean Marks is a genius, and he thinks he could do it again, what he did a few years ago. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I mean, obviously it sucks right now. You guys are gonna win maybe 8 games this year, but in general, how are you feeling here as you start a rebuild? Do you trust in Sean Marks? Do you trust in Joe Tsai? How are you feeling here as you enter the first stages of a rebuild?
Okay. So we kind of faked it with Mikal Bridges, trying to be like, oh, we're gonna compete, we're gonna get a star. And everyone knew it was bullshit. Obviously, we couldn't get Mitchell here, we couldn't get another star here. So we get into the rebuild, like you just said. I'm ready for a fresh start, man. Like, all jokes aside, like I said sports trauma before, being a Nets fan and seeing like all these heartbreaking losses and stuff, like it is some crazy things that I'm sure as Knicks fans, you guys have seen Net fans go through. Like it's everyone, the fans, the franchise, the owner, the GM, everybody needs a break. Sean Marks, it's almost like you have to cut him up into two pieces. First part, yes, he got KD and Kyrie here, but did he really do anything to get them here? He didn't have any draft picks. So what do you do to rebuild your team? Anyone would say, "Oh, I got to trade. I got to get assets by putting on, money on our cap sheet." So some fans feel like that. I'm in the middle. He couldn't. The biggest knock on him is hiring Steve Nash and not being able to finish the roster. That's they needed a power forward. They got LaMarcus Aldridge. He had a heart condition, and one of the reasons why they lost that Milwaukee series was because of that. Joe Harris playing when he should have not been playing. You needed a power forward, and Marks didn't get it. He didn't complete the roster, and it is what it is. I trust him. I do trust him in the draft, though. I will say that I do trust him in the draft if we get to draft a pick.
Yeah, I would say he put in work to get KD and Kyrie because you guys really did a rebuild without any picks, and he got the Karis LeVerts, he got the Jared Allen, he got the D'Angelo Russell. He made Brooklyn quote unquote cool, as KD had stated before, as the Knicks were in a tailspin. You know what I mean? We was trading Porzingis. We was just losing we was losing 65 plus games a year. So I think, Sean, you got to give him some credit. But what I always tell my boy is that, yeah, that those coaches signings were terrible and just a lot of questionable trades, which a lot of Nets fans they put the naked eye on, and I'm glad that you called it out and you see it as well. So good talks all the way here. Zebo, you got anything to say for Pete as we come to the close of the
No,
show?
I was just gonna say too. The other thing that kind of messed y'all up is KD having his foot on the line against Milwaukee. If it wasn't for that, we would be having a different. Honestly, it might have been Phoenix against Brooklyn in the finals, and then you never know. So,
let me tell you something. Very quick story. I was at my girlfriend's house in the Bronx, right? I'm in the Bronx. I'm in High Bridge, and it's I forgot what night it was, but everybody was out. My computer lags while Katie's taking the shot. Outside, this, by the way, I'm in an apartment building, windows closed. I hear crowd erupting all the way in the Bronx. They were watching the game, and they erupted because Katie hit the shot. And it's just so amazing that the Knicks own the city, but the Bronx is rooting for the Nets. That was crazy, bro.
I mean, it might have been the hybrid section. The hybrid section has always been questionable in the Bronx. So
You gonna get stabbed? Oh shit!
it is what
You
it is,
dead.
man. I
Nah,
salute to
you
the
know what?
Bronx. I was born and raised in the Bronx, so I have love for the Bronx. But the hybrid section has been a little questionable, a little bit questionable.
And you can't deny though, KD is one of those guys that he has his own fan base. Besides, yeah, the Nets do have a fan base. I can't deny because the few friends that I have that are Net fans, they all live in New York. They just happen to pick the wrong team, but it is what it is.
Can I, can I tell you a funny story? I'll be very quick with this stuff. Last one. My name, Net fans, it used to be the only Net fans, because I grew up in a Knicks neighborhood and was the only Nets fan, and I wound up going with that. And then, allegedly, some people weren't happy with that, so I changed it. I had a rebrand to this, so that's how I got here today.
Okay,
Mm.
but one thing I would say is that KD's brand is stronger than the Nets. So that's probably what the crowd have. That's why the crowd was, behind
Oh
it. They were
yeah,
more surprised that
yeah.
KD.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, sure, sure, yeah.
I got a special picture for my boy Pete right here.
What's up?
Um, KD's foot,
Yo,
right there. That
What the fuck
one
is wrong with
toe.
that? That shit's an
That
alien.
that
That a
one
fucking
toe.
alien?
Look at that one toe messed it
yo,
up.
what's
That one,
going on?
bro.
Knock that shit off.
Yo, that look like a boomerang, bro.
That
Yo,
that
fuck
That look
that.
like a boomerang.
That's fucked up, yo.
not the boomerang.
That's fucked up, yo. I'm gonna tell him.
One toe, man.
Oh, man.
Zebo, yeah, you. That's a tough, man. I don't know, man. That just, oof. That was a tough time. They might have won a chip. They might have won a chip for sure.
I
But
think they're gonna win, but that's unbiased, right? So I can't
yeah, of
say.
course, of course. I mean, look,
Mhm.
Phoenix wasn't ready. They showed that they weren't ready with Milwaukee. I mean, they was up 2-0 and they just blew it. So not shout out to Milwaukee. It was a good team, but honestly, Brooklyn was better. I go back to that series. They were talking about firing Mike Budenholzer while the series was going on. While the series was going on, they already had his resignation paper already on the table. And somehow, some way, they Kevin Durant steps on the line and they turn it around in the NBA Finals, and he had a few more years before they eventually gave him the boot. And it's like these coaches, man, they just like have 9 lives. Now he's back in the league somehow, man. That's
Coaching KD
coaching. I even forgot about it.
is even
Coaching
better.
Came
KD,
around full
man.
circle. Look at that.
Yep, yep.
Life comes around you full circle, man. But yo, honestly, a great show. Don Juan, any closing thoughts here for Pete?
Yeah, keep your head up high, man. You gotta believe in Sean Marks. I'm not gonna lie, I did like how he built the team last time. Not that I would say I was a low key fan, but at the time, me and my guy John Carlos, we was always running up and down, discussing the framework of what the Nets were doing, and I like those guys honestly how they were able to build. I was a fan of D'Angelo Russell. I was a fan of how they even built that team. I felt like the Knicks should have done the same thing, and you guys got a good guy out there holding the fort, and just hopefully he doesn't sell his soul to the superstars and destroy the framework that he had. Because even Atkinson was a pretty good coach too, man. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I do think that you guys will be in good hands with a lot of picks. I mean, the Knicks did it that way too, so I feel like just let's see how everything unfolds, man. Maybe some building up the fan base will help too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pete, yeah, I didn't have no picks. I thought y'all pick up a first round pick. And you haven't done no free agent signings, haven't done no trades. What are y'all waiting for? What's going on over there?
Uh,
What's
the
some
bigger
inside information? Give us some inside information here on the Knicks podcast.
Yeah, sure. All the Nets fans will come rush to you guys and subscribe. Click the bell.
Thank you.
um, uh,
Thank you.
Yeah,
sure,
appreciate it.
sure. Yeah, I do what I can. Um, listen, you got the bigger dominoes. Paul George just signed. 24 hours ago. There's a couple more guys. CJ Cam Johnson is going to be the guy that's going to be kind of like I don't know, like the third place prize. I don't even know where he could go. I heard Indy was interested in him. I heard not Utah. The Lakers were really into him. Uh, we'll have to see what happens. Anyone could use a wing that could shoot 39% from three, on a decent contract. We'll see what happens. The Nets are not going to do anything. They're going to trust the process, and we're going to tank all the way to the bottom. That's the plan.
Good luck, man.
No
The
shame.
Wizards in Detroit, you have competition down there at the bottom.
There's a
Zebo,
lot of teams. That Cooper flag
We're
tank is
going to
gonna be
lose, and don't
serious.
worry.
That
yeah,
Cooper tank flag is gonna be serious.
no, yeah, he's
Well,
worth
this
it
class
though.
in general, draft
Yeah,
class
he's
in
a
general is pretty stacked.
very good player. Zebo, any closing thoughts from my guy Pete?
Yo, P, hold your head up, bro. Just just hold it down, and let's see, bro. I still haven't sold my Ben Simmons stock. I still have one left. I
Oh
Oh,
still
you're
have
man,
one left.
smart.
Let's see.
No, no,
Let's
no, no, no,
see.
no, no, no. You're smart. I'm going to tell you why right now. Because the Nets are cursed, my friend. So that means Ben Simmons is going to be All-Star this year, and he's going to be a free agent, and the Nets are going to re-sign him. So smart man, smart man.
yo, my man Zebo got the Dogecoin still holding on strong. Diamond hands. He's the original Roaring Kitty over here. He got a Ben Simmons stocks. Wow,
Yeah.
that gotta be pretty low.
Can you
Yeah,
guys?
man.
Can I get one last plug in there?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm gonna give it to you at the end. I just want to
Oh, my
state.
bad.
I just want to. No, you good, bro. I just want to say, man. I hope y'all keep on losing. I really, really
Hey,
hope that we sweep y'all, and it's a tough on the other side because listen, as a Knicks fan, we was down bad and y'all was running around.
we beat that ass.
KD,
Don't forget that
yes.
shit.
Nick Claxton was like, I never lost to these guys. Y'all was talking all that smack, and I had to take it in the chin. I was just tight all the time. So now it's my turn to finally have this pleasure of watching y'all be a terrible team. But my team should be pretty good. So, unlike Zebo, unlike Don Juan, I am not wishing any luck to you. And I'll see you in June. I'll see you in June when we are holding up that Larry O'Brien trophy. But Pete, yeah,
Sure.
man, floor is yours, bro. Plug in whatever you gotta plug. You was a great guest.
Thank you.
Um, really don't like Brooklyn fans, but definitely
Thanks, bro.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah, guys, you can check me out at NetFriends. Like just sort of in the orange, you can see right there. I'm really active on Twitter. Check out my YouTube. Like I said, it's not just net stuff. I have beat writers. I've had a player on, and I got a couple things in the pipeline that I think even Nick fans will like. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and
Yeah,
appreciate.
yeah.
Thank you
I
for having
Nah,
me on
really
the show.
appreciate you coming through, bro. For
I
real.
really enjoyed the Scoop B. Again, like I'm not a Brooklyn fan, but I keep tabs on my man Pete because he does it all. He does it all. So shout out to my guy Pete. You already know the vibes. Triple M, Don Juan, Zebo, and Pete from Nets fans. Signing out, man. Peace.
Peace.